Hi guys, what's up and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Liz. And today for our celebrity death case we are going to be talking about Dominique Dunne. I'm going to kind of keep this short and sweet because her case is just really devastating, and it actually kind of upsets me more or less when I read about it because of the context of her murder. But so Dominique Dunne, she was a famous actress who was known for her roles in Family, Breaking Away, Poltergeist, Chips, and The Shadow Writers. But we're not talking about her life as an actress. We're talking about her murder today. Now, she was murdered by her ex-boyfriend or her boyfriend, John Sweeney. Her love life wasn't as successful as her acting life, and that's what she would succumb to, basically. So just a few weeks prior to her death is when she broke up with her boyfriend, John. It said that on October 30th of 1982, she was with her friend at her West Hollywood home, and she was practicing for the miniseries V. This friend is David Packer. Now, John Sweeney showed up at her house, and she would speak to him through the door. Now, after speaking with him through the door, she then agreed to speak with him outside on the porch. And during this time is when her friend David Packer is still inside. So he can kind of hear what's happening, but not really. Within minutes, they're arguing, and then you can hear screams and a thud, and also a smacking noise. This is something that David Packer could hear from inside. So obviously he's concerned about Dominique. He calls the police, but the police inform him that they wouldn't be able to do anything because a domestic is not a part of their jurisdiction unless it's a true domestic. It was really weird, like, looking at the conversation with the police. Like, it wouldn't be a part of their jurisdiction if it was a domestic. It's so bizarre the way that the whole phone call happened. So Packer hung up, and then he called a friend, and the friend told him that if Dominique was found dead, that John Sweeney is the one that killed her. So after this phone call, he leaves or exits Dominique's house, and as he's leaving, he sees John in a bush, or in bushes that's kind of nearby. But that's not all. David then calls police after Sweeney tells him to. So Sweeney's kneeling over Dominique and yells at him to call the cops, basically. So police arrive, and Sweeney confesses to them that he killed Dominique. He later would claim that he didn't remember what happened, that he was just talking to her, and then the next thing he knew, his hands were around her neck. Dominique would be brought to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where she was on life support, but she would never regain consciousness due to the fact that she was already brain dead. So if you don't know, if you are, I think I explained this in my JonBenet Ramsey video, I'll put it in a card above, but if your brain has a lack of oxygen for, I believe the minimum is 7 minutes. If your brain is without oxygen for 7 minutes, you are legally brain dead. So your body can't function because, I mean, your brain controls everything. So John was initially arrested for attempted murder, but these charges were dropped after Dominique was taken off of life support on November 4th. So on September 21st of 1983, John would be acquitted of second-degree murder, but he would be found guilty of voluntary manslaughter. The kicker is he would only be sentenced to 6 years in prison. What an absolute injustice for taking her life. Now, her family was completely outraged. Obviously, they were in the courtroom while this was happening, and they called it an injustice for their daughter. Literally spoke it out loud so the judge could even hear them. But that, my friends, is the death of Dominique Dunne. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments down below. If there's any other cases you want me to cover, also leave that in the comments down below. I would love to know, and I'll see you guys in my next video.